The American dream of the white picket fence, loving spouse, inspired kids, and family dog is moving further and further from reality. 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce, and Americans today are reporting record rates of anxiety and depression. According to the Government Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 10% of all Americans are on antidepressants, with some studies putting the numbers as high as 1 out of 3 women. Marriages are on the brink. Bullying in schools, religiously fueled hatred, and a deeply troubled economy all highlight a society that desperately needs a new direction. The essential cause of this deterioration is a breakdown in values. We need to divert society's focus from materialism and self-indulgence towards a more spiritual society that inspires adults and children to embrace caring and compassionate relationships and selfless lives that are a blessing to others. By attuning ourselves to our most cherished values, American families can find strength and reinvigoration. Society needs to shift its focus away from diverse hot-button topics like gay marriage and abortion, highly sensationalized in politics and media, and begin to have practical conversations about workable values that lead to wholesome living and family unity. Rabbi Shmuley, one of the most respected relationship experts and spiritual guides of our time, is spearheading the movement to challenge America and the West to reinforce the foundational values of Judaism, which are applicable and universally refreshing in a world struggling to find a moral compass. Judaic ethical and moral teachings have taken a back seat in our culture and must now be restored to positions of prominence. Though uniquely Jewish in their origin, these pillars of the Jewish faith relate to everyone. The life of the Jewish people, although ancient, is timeless and indispensable for today's social challenges.
For many people, Jewish values are the obvious ones, God and law and education and charity. But there are so many other values like destiny and redemption and enlightenment and action and marriage, meaning the softening of the masculine by exposure to the feminine, and sacred time and struggle. These are all essential Jewish values that we have to bequeath to the world to enhance the world, enrich the world, and make it a much better place.
In our family, I was always taught honor was the most important value. And with honor comes integrity, always telling the truth. Making mistakes is okay. Failing, it's fine. But always telling the truth and owning up to what you've done is the most important value.
Are simply humanistic values that one should see in the other person, not an enemy, but rather an ally, a companion.
That Jewish values dominate my sense of self, my feelings, my measures of right and wrong and good and bad and all that sort of thing.
And this is central to my whole belief system, is that God demands that we be good, and that God thinks that goodness is the most important thing that people can engage in.
But we don't really think in moral terms anymore. And we have to get back to that moral center, because I don't think you can be happy if you don't feel like you're a good person. You have to like yourself in order to be happy. And you can only like yourself when you know that you're a blessing to others, that your life is essential to others, that they value your contribution, that they embrace your gift.
You want to do good, and you want to do something good in life. I don't believe that life is just practicing selfishness. I believe life is made up of a desire to help out other people.
I thought if you are all the time humiliated, you may not grow up proud because you'll be afraid.
And therefore I believe in other people as well, that we are not alone in this world. God alone is alone, we are not. And that feeling that gives any person, therefore any nation, is what makes them strong.
Or the more important struggle, the moral struggle, to be a better person, to give your children more time. In marriage, for a husband to be focused on his wife and a wife focused on her husband. These all come with struggle. Giving charity, very difficult. You're giving money away that took so much effort to earn to a complete stranger. But when you're prepared to engage in that struggle, it demonstrates that every day you want to live a moral life, that moral questions occupy your thoughts. And these are the essential Jewish values that society has to embrace.
If you look at great leaders, they're flawed, because all of us are flawed. It's what makes us so unique, what's so special. And what I love is the fact that you're gauged and judged not by whether you succeeded, but whether you struggled and how you dealt with that struggle. I think it's a deep wisdom that many of us need to hold in our hearts when we go through difficult times in our lives.
We each have something to teach each other in the moral sphere, and we have to take each other seriously.
I think that the important thing is to have those values that you do have deeply internalized, and hopefully they're the same for your children and your business associates and your friends and your lovers, etc., etc.
Society has values, and those values actually sometimes can contradict one another. Nevertheless, if as a basis we say we are not here to hurt or to humiliate it or to shame, then that's already is an important value.
And most of all, Jewish values are about this world, a this world orientation, not about giving us a ladder by which to climb into the heavens, but by giving us the tools to create heaven here on earth.
And this is why This World, the Jewish Values Network, and American Friends of Rambam are proud to announce the honorees of the inaugural Champions of Jewish Values International Awards Gala.
Good evening. I'm Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey, and I'm sorry that I can't join you tonight for the Champions of Jewish Values dinner. But I do want to take a few minutes, if I could, to talk about some of my very good friends who are being honored tonight. First, to Sheldon and Miriam. They were integral to my first trip and my family's first trip to Israel back in April of 2012. And it was an extraordinary experience, not only for me and Mary Pat, but for our children. And in the time since then, our interactions with both Sheldon and Miriam have been amazing. And so for all the things they do, for so many extraordinary causes, both here in the United States and around the world, I want to thank Sheldon and Miriam for their friendship to me and Mary Pat and to our children. And I want to thank them for all that they do for all the folks around the world whose lives they've touched. And that, I'm sure, are tens of thousands of people. I want to also congratulate Dr. Wiesel for the Champion of Jewish Spirit Award that he's receiving tonight. We all know the extraordinary work that he has done over the course of his entire life. And for Dr. Wiesel, again, I wish I were there to be able to do this in person, but congratulations on the Champion of Jewish Spirit Award. You are an extraordinary human being and someone that people all around the world are indebted to for the focus that you've brought on human rights. As Governor of New Jersey, I am happy to congratulate tonight for the recipient of the Spirit of Human Life Award, a New Jersey guy, Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is not only known all around the United States, but around the world for his focus on the quality of life for each and every person that is within the sound of his voice. And Dr. Oz is an inspiration to so many people, and we're so proud here in New Jersey that we can call him one of our own. So to Dr. Oz, congratulations on your award tonight. It is well deserved, but we're also very excited on behalf of all the people of the state of New Jersey to call you one of our own, and I congratulate you on behalf of all of New Jersey's 8.8 million citizens on this great award tonight. Hope you have a good evening and you enjoy the event.